Hey, good morning, y'all. Today is Thursday. I forgot the date, man. It's in the beginning of April. You know what it is. Hey, standing here while the rest of the world is on lockdown, I'm in a prison yard in Falun, Sweden. That's right. Whew. Let's check it out. You see all the barbed wire, man. That's it. We're locked in, man. Here's the prison. Yeah. Actually, this is it was a prison. It's been converted over to a hostel. I'm up here doing a job. We can peep that later. It's like an 8-hour drive up here, man. Whew. Let me tell you though, it was the trucking, everything is moving. I'm up here. If I hadn't been watching the news, I would never think that anything is going on, and that everything's fine. That there's no pandemic. There's no panic. People on lockdown all over the world dying. I'm serious, man. If I didn't watch the news, I wouldn't have a clue up here at all. But yeah, man, we're staying here at this prison. Falun's beautiful. We got lots of things to check out. They've got the sick mine up here. There's this guy Engelbrechtson. He looks like a pretty serious dude. The church here was dedicated to Christina. Christina of Sweden was an alchemist. It'd be fun to learn a little bit more about her. And but one of the coolest things here is that this place, I mean, it's got this sick museum downstairs. They gave us the key. Go down there. It's insane. Now, the other night, y'all might know, there was a super moon, man. I mean, it was like the pink moon. It was some kind of portent of evil or bad omen coming, man. And I was gonna go down there and film, do a video down here in this museum, man. The boys went to sleep, man. I was like, I'm gonna go down there. Couldn't find the lights, and I started hearing noises. It freaked me out, man. That thing, it's so haunted down there. I mean, it was scary. Just the hair stood up on the back of my neck and everything, man. It was just like, whoa, man. I was like, I'm gotta get out of here. Now, hey, y'all might think that's silly, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. I've seen ghosts, man. Hey, let me put my right hand up. This is the truth. I seen the ghost of Stonewall Jackson. Man, that was serious business, man. I don't know. It was legend. Well, I didn't see. Let me explain. I saw some kind of phantasmagorical orb that was coming straight for me, man. The legend has it that it's Stonewall Jackson. Now listen. Here's the background. Okay, BMI rat year. Okay, I'm outside studying in an academic building. Now in the rooms, you got these little cards. You got to sign out everywhere that you're supposed to be, and you only have a certain time. You've got to be back in your bed. They come by and do bed checks on you. Okay, you got a TAC officer comes by with a flashlight, and another dude jiggling keys, so you know that they're coming. All right, he's a cadet usually. But the TAC officer ain't. He's checking your card, and he's going to bone you if you're not in your room. You get to merits, you're going to be out marching. So I'm out studying in this TAC building, man. I want to ace this test. So I'm rolling the dice going, okay, man, I know I'm out past late, but I got to be out here studying, and I'm going to roll the dice, take a gamble. Hopefully I don't get caught. I come sneaking back into the barracks, right? And I'm supposed to be in the rat line. I'm walking around all funny in this little line, but it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's nobody up. As I let myself out the rat line, man, I'm just walking up my stairs. All of a sudden, I see this orb, man, and I think it's just the TAC officer with his flashlight doing the bed checks, on the door. I'm like, oh, awesome, man. I got this one, you know what I mean? I can make it back to my room before he gets there. And, man, I'm going up the stairs up to the 4th floor, man, and all of a sudden, this orb comes around. There's a big courtyard. All right, he's on the other side of the courtyard up on the 4th, and all of a sudden this light just starts coming straight. I mean, it's like me and him are both. Well, he's on one side of the courtyard, I'm on this side, and we're both like, I'm trying to get to my room, and then we turn, and he's coming straight for me, man. and it was just this orb of light. And ooh, man, it gets me freaked out even every time I think about it. I mean, the hairs are coming up on the back of my arms and everything right now. I was freaked out, man. It was coming at me faster and faster, and I just turned and bam, kicked in my door and jumped in my bed. I pulled the covers over my head, man, to be honest with you. I straight pulled the covers over my head and then sat there for a second. I was like, if that's a tax officer, he's going to have a flashlight looking in here. I peeped out underneath my covers to look, and nobody came, man. And I was like, and that ain't the only one, okay? I've been sitting there with friends out there. We thought somebody was walked into my buddy's room. He'll vouch for me. All these people, man. We can write a whole book on the whole poltergeists that going up there. It is a scary place. Oh, man. So, yeah, when I walked down there, I felt them. Okay, I felt that presence. I'm familiar with it, okay? It scared the bejesus out of me, and I was like, I'm out of here. So, but we're going to get down there. We're going to check that place out. We got a lot to check out. And, yeah, man, got myself worked up. I got to chill out. I got to get to work later. Okay, y'all. It's time to wrap this video up. We had our little ghost story, and let's bring it back over to the coronavirus for a second. You know, the coronavirus and a good ghost story or horror story, they have similarities. First and foremost, obviously, is the fear of the unknown. Okay? We all have to run around in paranoia now, worrying about it. Hey, did somebody sneeze on this? Did I touch that? Hey, you know, am I going to get sick? Am I going to the hospital? Do they have enough ventilators? Okay? On top of that, you got the people that are sick. Okay? Imagine they're suffering. I mean, they're going through all kinds of pain. Am I going to drown in my own phlegm? Am I going to recover? Am I ever going to be the same again? Man, that's a horrible, horrible feeling, man. I mean, this, on top of the sickness. It's horrible. You know, again, on top of that, we've got all the people that are unemployed, that lost their jobs because of this. And there's a lot of fear and anxiety that comes along with that. And my heart goes out to everybody. You know, it's I don't want to make light of this. This is it's a tragedy. Okay, but it's not the Black Plague. Okay, it's not killing a third of the population. I crunched some numbers just for fun, and I mean, like, I encourage you to do it yourself. I mean, take the number of deaths and then the number of people that are in your country, do the math. I mean, there's your percentage of, like, you know, what you're gonna, you know, your chances of dying. Now, obviously, they're gonna fluctuate depending on where you live. I mean, if you're in New York City in a tenement, you know, back together, you know, yeah, it's going to be a lot worse than if you're out in the country, for sure. I mean, and, you know, you act accordingly. I mean, that's just common sense. But, you know, I was looking at these other numbers, like accidental deaths. You look up accidental deaths in the United States, most of them are for car accidents. Okay, the other leaders are accidental poisoning and falling down. Okay. You've got more of a chance right now to go out and be in a car accident, okay, than you do to die from coronavirus. Now, again, not making light of this at all. It's a very serious thing. When it first happened, I thought we were going to have something like the plague. I went out, I bought face masks, I bought food. I was telling people, hey, this is going to be horrible. Luckily, we've had a reprieve, man. We've gotten lucky. Now, I know all the people out there that are in lockdown that are suffering from this, you know, that have died from this or had family members die from this. They're probably not saying that, you know, and I get that. I understand. I'm not making light of your situation. I'm just trying to put a little perspective on this. So, you know, moving forward, I mean, we got a lot to do. I mean, I fully believe that we have the ability. We stick together. We can make a rebound out of this. All this doom and gloom, you know, with the economy and all that, man, all these talking heads that are out there, man, they have their own agenda as well. And, you know, that brings me kind of to the third or fourth point or whatever it is now that gets me scared as well. You know, on top of all the sickness and death and uncertainty, it's like, hey, man, where are we going with this in the future? I'm seeing things that are terrifying me. Okay, authoritarianism run rampant. I mean, they're talking about doing things like oh, you've got to have this, the Corona app. That's terrifying. Okay, certificates. Hey, show us your papers. You got people calling the cops on their neighbors. I mean, just like a kid that's outside by himself playing basketball. They come in and tear down the basketball hoop. Oh, you can't do that. I mean, taking people's license plates from church so they can give them, you're going to go and force, 2-week quarantine, giving people fines. Man, I'm on the other side of the world I'm in one of the places that is not really taking, that's trusting in the people. They might change it a little bit because you have some people out there that really kind of aren't using, that are really going about their daily lives like nothing's ever happened. Most people here, in Sweden have. I mean, it's not going crazy. Everything's stocked. People are somewhat abiding by the social distancing. They're still getting together in their small groups and hanging out. I mean, it's Easter. People are out in the parks hanging out, but they're giving each other a little distance. They're maybe tightly packed or associating with each other, conversating in their little groups. I mean, maybe they're not doing hey, we got to be, a meter apart or 6 feet apart or whatever it is, they're recommending. But, for the most part, people are going about it in a sane way, and I appreciate that. But yeah, let's just, basically what we're seeing here, people, is a continuation of this war of philosophy that's going on for centuries. Okay, in another video, we talked about, the Vikings and the all thing going into the Magna Carta, to the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. Okay, this is enlightened thought where the primacy of the individual is paramount. Okay, where people come together collectively to form a government or to govern themselves democratically. And on the flip side of this, you see like this, what I like, it's like a bastardization of Platonic thought. He's easy to take out of context, or maybe that was his context. I don't know. But basically what that is like, the elite, the special people need to govern the dirty, unwashed masses. They're incapable of governing themselves. That we have to have in today's age, it would be the technocrats and the politicians, and they know better, and they're going to make your decisions for you. You see it coming, all right? And all this stuff and all this monitoring and apps and all this stuff, it's, we'll see where we end up on this. Because, that's the 2016 election, Trump. That's what it was about. Brexit, okay? That's what it's about. People were tired in the U.S. of seeing the deep state lead them down a path that they didn't want to go down to. Foreign wars, regime change, and all this stuff. People are sick of it. And then they didn't vote for that. They didn't want that. Okay? Same thing in Europe where you're seeing the EU, the Brexit. Okay? People in Europe, they elect their officials, and they go and for their government, but then they turn around and send unelected officials to the European Union, and then they make the rules that they have to abide by. People don't like that. Okay, what some people do. Some people actually do. I was talking to some guy, and I really like this guy. Man, he's a great artist, but he's like, oh yes, we've got to listen to the experts, and it's like, hey man, that's, the Milgram experiment, okay? Look at that. Look it up. Man, what you're setting yourself up for is something where the Milgram experiment gone mad. There's people out there that will shock you with 450 volts and not even think twice as somebody in a lab coat or a position of authority to tell them to do so. You see it out right now. There's police out there that are not using common sense, trying to tell people that they can't be in their front yards and that sort of thing. Now listen, good luck trying to get me in some kind of neo-caste system, because it ain't happening. But anyway, that's enough of a rant today. We'll touch on these subjects more. It's Easter, and I gotta go spend some time with the missus before she kicks my butt. Later.